Learning is erroneously thought of as a dichotomy between yes and no. Well, this means, did the student really learn the information? Yes or no? Did the student pass the test? Yes or no? Was the homework submitted correctly and completed sufficiently? Yes or no? But what if, as educators, we looked at learning as a spectrum? What if we were to start to see how learning exists in different modalities and note the relationship between them?
So, learning actually is on a spectrum. And when we take a moment to examine these varying ways in which information is presented, then we can see how learning is understood on a new level and to a deeper degree. So, take a moment just to look at the pyramid of learning. I love the pyramid of learning. Because within the pyramid of learning, we can see how we learn more and information is retained better depending on the methodologies we use. And then when we start using and combining these modalities, that retention significantly jumps. There is a marvelous correlation between this spectrum of learning and the pyramid of learning. Now, the objective is to present new information in a variety of ways to meet the needs of the varying learning personalities and to also see the ways in which students can best grasp information. Of course, individuals have a preferred method of learning. That's just a fact. It's the way that it is. But this doesn't mean that knowledge needs to be presented in that same manner. No, we absolutely do not want to do that. Knowledge and information should be presented in a variety of ways. Even the same information could be given in a variety of ways that meets the goal of not only presenting the information in that desired way, but also to present it in ways that challenge the learner, challenge them to try new things, and introducing them to different learning techniques. Now, remember, as we start to introduce them to different ways of learning, that's going to increase that retention because they're seeing it in all new ways. So, learning methodologies can be found on a spectrum from the more teacher centered approaches to the more learner centered approaches. And this is demonstrated by noting how lectures are more teacher centered, while experiential learning is really more learner centered. So, think about this as well. When you're doing lectures and reading, it tends to be more abstract versus experiential, which is more real world. You have low interaction with lectures and reading, but you have high interaction with experiential learning. Teacher centered for lectures, right? Learner centered for experiential learning. Now, here's the caveat though. As we look at how the learner gets more involved and more into those hands on experiences and really diving into the information, it also means that it's going to take longer for them to get through the information. Whereas when you simply are doing a teacher centered approach or a lecture, it's really shorter and it's quicker to be able to get that information across. So just because I'm saying it's great to do a teacher centered or a learner centered approach, please remember that it's also important that there are times when you simply need to do a teacher centered approach in order to quickly get information across.